Okay, here I am. Welcome everyone to a new video. And today I wanted to show you a couple of games I played in the Hive Fair Play Cup, this team tournament that we have every year. And I thought I would show you games from round 2 and then round 3, but then I thought maybe let's just talk about some interesting openings that occur in these games, especially two games where I played black. So the first one in round 2 against Rise again, and I'll show you now. And then another game that I played in round 3 with a different black opening. And they're both kind of uncommon, and I hope you find something interesting and you can experiment yourself with these openings. So the idea was I played a hopper, and then a queen straight away, and then a ladybug in line. So this is a kind of anti-spawn defense, but normally you will have a pillbug, which is the most important defensive piece, and in an anti-spawn fashion. As you know already, probably the anti-spawn allows black not to worry too much about the white beetle crawling on top of the black queen, because there are no spaces where white can directly drop one of the pieces from the reserve. And at the same time, this more stretched configuration allows to have more spawn points. But why the ladybug here? You will see that it's going to be useful later on, and it's quite flexible. Some people call this opening also traffic light because of the green, yellow, red combination here. I played quite a while recently. I saw it the first time from Nevir Veme, another strong player from US, and it kind of works well. You'll see that in this specific game it doesn't work very well, but I'll show you what I think were my mistakes. So the idea here is to put mosquito and an ant next to each other, and now I have double ant, same thing that white is doing, but with a different setup. White is pinning my ant, and I place another ant down. The interesting thing of this white setup is that white basically has a pocket here for the mosquito. Because I cannot pin the mosquito with an ant, right? Because I will create the ring, and then the ladybug will get out with terrible consequences for me, or at least it doesn't look very appealing. I could pin the white mosquito with a black mosquito, but at this point my black mosquito is helpless. Of course, I can still free this mosquito at some point, giving some extra power, for example this, but yeah, I didn't feel very confident with it. So what I decided to do instead, it's simply to pin the white ant. However, oh no, sorry, not this. I pinned the white ant in this position. Well, I didn't really pin the ant, of course, but the idea was that if the mosquito moves, then the ant will be pinned, and if the ant moves, then the mosquito will be pinned. So it's ambiguous pin. But I feel this already is a sort of mistake, and I'll show you why in a second. Probably the best move was to pin in a straight pin this white ant, and this is definitely more safe. I just try to go on a few moves. What if white mosquito pins the black mosquito? Not the problem in this case. The white mosquito actually would be without power, and then black just continues the ant game. White has only one ant in reserve, so whenever white place it, then black can pin it, and white is nowhere any near to actually get an attack, and I think black is quite okay. Of course, white can also attack straight away with the mosquito, but here it comes the very flexible configuration of the ladybug and mosquito. The ladybug could, for example, cut off this mosquito, and now again there are no quick way for white to attack. If white tries to take advantage of this pocket, then we just get back into the classical, let's say, anti-spawn defense, and the black mosquito is threatening to pin the beetle. So something like this would be actually again quite okay for black. But unfortunately, what I played in the game was this move, which doesn't work very well for a simple reason. The reason is that this white mosquito has pillback power, which means it will be able to move this ant at some point over here, for example. And this is what I was worried during the game, what black would be worried for the whole game, basically. Once the black ant gets in here, this ant gets buried here, and it's not easy to get it back into the game. And black starts to suffer a bit as from a material point of view. So what I did was to anchor my ant here. The problem was, though, that basically these two pieces are not playing any role. They're just here, like the black hopper here is anchoring the black ant, and this black ant is not clear actually what it's doing, because the white position is quite flexible, and white will be able to move one of these two pieces, the mosquito or the ant, and then refill the other space. For example, let's say white plays something like this, then the white hopper can later on be moved in here in the space vacated by the mosquito, and then free the white ant. So actually this ambiguous pain idea was not the best, I think. Sorry, okay, so this is what happened in the game. White goes straight here, and now I have to sort of be prepared for an attack, because white has these 2 spawn points that could be used for a beetle. I mean, I assume beetle attack is the most likely thing, but at the moment black hasn't placed the pillback yet, so there might be other ways to attack. But also the good thing of this flexible setup from black is that whenever the ladybug or the mosquito moves, then one of these 2 spaces can be replaced by a pillback. So actually you have to be ready to face a beetle attack eventually. So I decided to pin the ant here, but this basically gives free ant on this mosquito, and at the same time I'm not very well prepared against the beetle attack. What I can do is using a defensive beetle, but at this point I'm not sure anymore where my pillback will go, because whenever my ladybug moves or beetle moves, then the white beetle will cover the black queen, and then I don't have any more spawn points for the pillback. So I have to continue with this. White decide to, I think this would be like covering the black queen would be just help for me, because I'll just recover, and now I really have spawn points here for my pillback. Well, it's not that easy, of course, because white can also play this. But I think there's no rush for white to cover the black queen, and actually this move is better for a couple of reasons. First, it covers completely, like blocks completely my hopper. That was one of my defensive pieces. And second of all, it creates 2 more spawn points here, which are very useful. Especially this spawn point here is very useful, because whatever piece white plays here would free the white ladybug, and then the white ladybug can join the attack. So what I tried to do is to control at least this spawn point, but it didn't work for very long. The other idea is that once this kill spot is taken, again the ladybug is free. So I try to to fix one of the problem, and then I got into another problem. So I'm not really sure here what would be the best move for me. I probably have to accept that one of these things is going to happen. Maybe I have to play something like this to control both of these spawn points, and if the beetle covers, then well, I have to be careful with this direct drop. But at least there's no like a big attack coming. I mean, of course, white is always a bit better. It could continue attack with a spider, for example. But yeah, the position is not great for black. So what I did was to control this pawn point, which probably made things anyway worse, because after this move now it's very easy for white to, I mean, he decided to go here, but also this one would make a lot of sense. Now I'm forced to move my ladybug away, because otherwise white will win one move. And now there are definitely too many threats for like against black. So the simplest threat white has is just to fill the space and then use the ladybug to attack. And then white also has an extra hopper in reserve, so it can place an hopper here. And I don't have ants available. I mean, I would have one ant available after the next move, but it's not enough. And then there is another important spawn point here, and the beetle could come from here. It definitely is just too much. So I decided to go here, and now there's nothing to do. White will win. So all in all, not a great not a great promotion for this opening, but I have to say I played a couple of moves very like inaccurate. So I think I played other games. If you look at my game against Happy Kiwi, for example, in the World Cup last year, was amazing. Probably one of the best games I've ever played using this opening. So I think there are still there's still hope for this, and I think experimenting it's a good thing. Trying different anti-spawn setups, more modern, let's say, without placing the pillbug straight away. Another game that I want to show you, I played a very different setup. This setup I have more experience with, and the game actually went pretty well. I played against San Alapas, which is a pretty strong player from Spain. Our team was against this Spanish team, captained by Ordep Kubik. You probably know him from YouTube channel. So what's happening in this opening? So I play this standard ladybug mosquito, but then I come up with the pillbug before placing the queen. So now some players will try to avoid, like prevent my next move, which is probably better, or it's fine. But my opponent decided to let me play my next move, which is black queen in this position west to the pillbug. So I created this sort of structure, which we call now probably like the most common way to call it is hyper C opening, because it's sort of from a C opening, but compared to the normal C opening, in the classic C opening, the white and the black queen share one space, one kill spot in between. In the hyper C opening, the white and the black queen actually share two kill spots here. This two. So this means that there is more chances to have a draw, probably yes, but at the same time it's very easy to create rings and to free the initial pieces, like these two ladybugs or the pillbug, which means there are a lot of trigger spot, and the game can become quite chaotic as well. I kind of like it. I played it a few times, and it's more tricky than it seems. This black queen here should, like you would expect, to place it in on the flank, right? To have a more compact structure, or the classic buffer would be this one. But I think this move has merits, or at very least psychologically, and especially when you're in a match where you're already winning the first game, as was in this case, because this was the game 2 of the match. It becomes hard for white to attack without forcing a draw later on, or at least without making the game more complicated. So actually many players play something like this to actually prevent black from going for this structure. And in this case, black cannot do anything; it has to play something different. But in case of this game, white didn't mind, and it let me play this situation. Now it's white to play. There are different options. White can keep placing pieces, like here the pill bag or an ant, or attack straight away with mosquito or the ant. But the idea is that compared to like classical openings, black has at least one extra spawn point, and you can place an ant here or here, and it doesn't really affect, like it doesn't allow white to have a compound attack on the queen. So if the ant was closer to the queen, then the mosquito would pin it and pin the ant on the queen. Like if the black ant was on the kill spot for the black queen, that would be usually like worse. In this case, black has other spawn points, doesn't need to worry about it, and also have a double ant here. Is this what I played? Yes, I did. Oh, sorry. No, sorry, I didn't play that because white went for this pillbag. The idea is the same though. I have a double ant here, either here or here. I decide to go here. I'm not sure, probably the other one is fine as well. I try not to overload the pillbag. If the pillbag is surrounded by too many pieces, then it might be complicated to defend as well. So white decided to pin my ant. I place another ant. So we're playing the ant game. As you can see, the position of the queen is not particularly affecting me. At the same time, the pillbag is already in place here, so I think it's quite okay. This was probably a mistake by white, allowing me to pin the beetle with my mosquito, and now white decided to go for the attack. But as you can see here, you will need 1, 2, 3 moves to get over the black queen without going down again. Right? If the mosquito goes down, first of all, this pillbag will be free. Second of all, the mosquito will lose beetle power. So spending 4 moves to reach the black queen is probably a bit too much. Maybe a better idea was this one, to shut down completely the black mosquito, at least for the moment, or just go on with. No, well, actually, this was needed. Otherwise, the black mosquito would just go. Sorry, would just climb on the beetle. No, this is not what happened. This is what happened. Yes, okay. And so I wasn't particularly worried, but a defensive beetle would be like it's always useful. Whenever the mosquito covers the ladybug, I have a beetle here. I'm not in a rush. The mosquito covers the pillbag. The spider here is threatening to attack the queen in this spot. So what I did was just move the queen away. And at this point, the spider is not in the best position. The spider could move again here to attack, but it seems a little bit slow. I have this intermediate move, which is pretty nice. Why I call it intermediate move? Because my idea was to actually move the spider away using the pillbag power, but I can't do it in a move right now because the spider just moved. So with this threat, the white ant is forced to move somewhere, and now I can move the spider into the pit, and then at the same time I free either my ladybug or my pillbag. I'll decide later on which one to move. The pillbag moves away so that I cannot cover it with a mosquito, and I decide to free my ladybug, at the same time replacing the pin of the ant. Now the ladybug will pin the ant in a straight pin, and this black ant is free to attack. And you can see black is already ahead in the race. So first of all, white hasn't qualified for the win yet. He needs to neutralize the pillbag, so it will need at least 2 moves. Plus, white has 1 extra ant, but there are like 1, 2, 3 kill spots to take. If black instead attacks correctly, like takes the kill spot in the right order, only basically need 1 and 2 turns. Of course, the white pillbag here can move away, so we have to consider this kill spot will be free again, but you'll see now that we can take care of that as well. White goes for a pin replacement, and I decide to pin the spider, so to take control of both ant and spider. Also, there are no other ants in place, so unless white shift the pin here, then which makes me even more makes my queen even more safe. I don't have to worry about ant getting pinned. So white tries to attack, but I have another defensive beetle here. I just go on with my attack. I have to cover the queen later on, and decide to recover. Fine, because this mosquito is not needed to attack anymore now that there is a beetle here. So my plan here at this point is just taking this kill spot first, make sure that this pillbug cannot move, and then take the last kill spot. I have actually 2 pieces for doing that, the ladybug and the ant here. So I don't even think about this. I don't even have to worry about this attack, because white doesn't have enough pieces to attack. Well, it has 3 hoppers in reserve, but it will take more time. I'm definitely ahead in tempo. And now white played actually this move, which is a blunder, because the last kill spot is taken. But there was not too much white could do. Either move the pillbug away here, or moving the pillbug here, but this is probably not great because of my beetle. Even if I leave a direct drop, it's probably not a big deal. And now after this move, white has to pin the black ladybug because of the kill spot here, or the kill shot, the last kill spot to be taken, and then with this hopper here I can just win in the very next move. The other option for white was to go with the pillbug here, which is a bit more tricky because of course whenever I take this kill spot, then the white pillbug can move my spider away and make it more difficult for me to win. For example, after this, we creates a gate, and now I don't have like a way to win immediately, but still the position is pretty good for me if I manage to reach this point. Maybe just moving the spider away is fine as well. But at this point I actually invested a lot, so if white has time to do a spin replacement, maybe it's a bit too much. But the position is still, if we stay here, the position is still pretty good for black. I could just even recover this. And now, does white have enough pieces to win? It has 3 hoppers, and there are 3 kill spots here, so it's barely enough, which means it's not gonna be able to to win, right? So the position is definitely good for black. But well, my opponent decided to got confused, distracted, and anyway, I won in this move. So again, what was the opening? Let's go back. This Hyper C opening. So I think has some merits, and it's definitely not very common, so you can also surprise your opponents. Consider that your opponent can prevent it with the right move order, but you can always play like a classical Z opening or a buffer, and you're still fine. But I will consider to at least try to play this if you can sometimes, especially if the situation in the match is convenient for you. Anyway, okay, hope you enjoyed it, enjoyed this analysis, and you got some ideas for your openings as black. These are a bit more advanced, but I think it's still good to experiment sometimes. And if you like my videos, there is a Ko-fi page you can support me, and you can buy some coaching session. We can do private coaching session if you like, but there is tons of material for free on social media, on Discord, the YouTube channels. So go and enjoy. Have a good day.